Please welcome one of the really good guys, Vernon Cox. I'm going to test my mic for a minute. Testing, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
That's the kind of wireless I like, no changing batteries. I also like to read every once in a while. And my wife got me a book last Christmas. And it was by Dr. Robert Leslie. He's an emergency room doctor in North Carolina. And it's called Angels and Heroes. And it's kind of like chicken soup of the soul for EMS personnel, for firefighters, police, and EMTs. And it's little vignettes. And I was reading through it and it really brought back a lot of memories. Brought back memories when I was younger, and I was an EMT and firefighter in Hancock County. And although in all those years, 18 plus years that I was in EMS, I never really felt like an angel, and I never really felt like a hero. I was actively involved over 40 times in CPR. And we were really blessed. Our teams were able to have 16 saves, which out in the field is really good statistics. So we really felt kind of good about that. And I also was in between fire and ambulance. I was in a lot of adrenaline pumping, life on the edge moments. You know? I mean, it was like an adrenaline high. And it felt good to help my community. I never really felt like an angel. And I never really felt like a hero. But I did feel like contributing more to the community. So when my daughter she was just about 7 years old. She was being a brownie in Girl Scouts. And she came home and she cried like most little girls do, because Mom works at the mill and she can't help, and if none of the parents help Mrs. Swayze, then we can't have a troop. And I said, I tell you what, Shanna, I told my daughter, I will help, for 1 year until one of the other mothers can help out. I'm a lifetime member of Girl Scouts of USA. and that's how they get you in. Well, when I started, I was a co-leader to a brownie troop, and I really enjoyed it. But I got to tell you, being a male in a predominantly all-female organization has its challenges. For example, when you go to an event and there's 200 girls, all 7, 8 years old, there is no men's room. There is no boys' room. When little girls have to go, they have to go. So I would often tell the janitors, whoa, 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 that's not for us. We have to get an adult leader, and one of the ladies will clear out the bathroom for us, because they need to use the bathrooms. There's so many of them there. And also, brownies, those age girls, a week's a long time to go without seeing their leader. So when they see you, they want to hug everybody, and they jump up and down. And well, at first, I was kind of careful, because I didn't want people to get the wrong idea. So I decided to start off on the right foot. And the very first time, a little girl, she was about this tall. She wasn't very tall at all, but she come at me when I was bent down, and almost knocked me over. I said, whoa, you're gonna hurt me, and you might hurt yourself too if I fall on you. I tell you what, instead of catching me off guard, if you ask me for permission when you want to hug, then I'll ask you permission when I want to hug, or when I'm working on a badge and I need to touch you for any reason. I will always ask your permission. And she agreed. And I agreed. And it really worked out well. We did a lot of badge work, and we did a lot of fundraising with that brownie troop, and they grew older. And they became juniors. They were too old for the hugging at this point, and they just loved going out on camping trips and doing things with us. But we always did whenever we did first aid or anything, we always asked permission. It wasn't weird. It was just one of those things that you do. I respect you and you respect me. And I never gave it much thought, neither did the girls. Till one day, one of the mothers, Susan's mother, came to me, and she pulled me aside while the girls were with one of the other co-leaders. And she said, Vernon, I want to thank you for being a good role model for the girls when they were brownies. And I said, it's all right. You know, I was just there. It's like the CPR thing. You know, you're not a hero. You're not an angel. You just be there. It's no big deal. She says, no, it is a big deal. She says, we had a family outing. We were all out in the barbecue, and things were quiet, and all of a sudden we heard really loud from the house, you can't touch me. You don't have my permission. Vernon doesn't even touch me without permission, and I like him. Well, they all ran in, and they found that it was her brother being inappropriate with her daughter. And she, because it was not abnormal for her, she stood up and she felt empowered that it was okay for her to tell an adult that he can't touch without permission. Well, she grew up a little more, Sarah, and Susan, her sister, also joined the troop. And because they came from a split home, mom and dad split the week, we would, from week to week, take the kids home for them. And we would go to whatever home we needed to. We would drop them off. And a lot of times, if anybody here has been a scout leader, you know that a lot of times being a taxi driver is a big part of your job if you want the girls in your troop. So we dropped the girls off, Sarah and Susan off, and we saw their dad and the girlfriend in the window, so we knew everything was okay, and we went home. My wife and I get a phone call, and we were on an ambulance call that night, so we were like, you know, we were ready. We were jumped up, and we were ready, but although it came from the fire station, it was Susan on the other end. And she told us that after we had left, the girlfriend and the father got in a big argument. And he's in jail. And that they're down at the Bucksport Fire Department waiting for her mother. And I said, well, we'll come right down. We'll be right there until your mom can get there. She said, no, that's not why I called. The girlfriend said that because we're going to live with mom now in another town, we can't be Girl Scouts anymore. And we really want to be Girl Scouts. And I stopped her right there and I said, well, we're going to come down. And first of all, you need to know that's your mother's decision. That's not your dad's girlfriend's decision. And so we got there. We knew everybody at the fire department, so they let us sit with the girls until their mom came. And then we had that discussion with her mom, and her mom said that she would love for them to stay in the troop. But unfortunately, because of work, she couldn't transport them all the time. So instead of occasionally transporting them, we suggested we transport them all the time. Because you see, the school buses wouldn't do it because they were out of that district. So we went ahead and we transported them. And we transported them and the other girls all over Hancock County, Canada, and Maine. And one of the things that we always made sure when we brought them home, from that day on, we had this little code. We always told them, listen, when you go in your house, flick the lights twice. And once you do that, we're going to drive off and we're going to be okay. If you don't flick them twice after we wait a few minutes, we're going to call the police and we're going to come in. That's what we're going to do. Fortunately for us, we never had to exercise that because the girls always flicked twice. They used to, as adults now, some of them still tease me about having them flick the lights twice back then. So we did trips and we worked on badges and the girls grew up and some of them went with us on training trips. But you get old and you move on. The girls moved on. A lot of them went to college and high school. I moved on. I moved to Portland. My wife and I married a Girl Scout years later. I remarried, and she and I settled down here. And we went back to Bucksport once. I took her up there to show her where I used to live, and we went on vacation. And we stopped in at the Hannaford that's right by the Verona Bridge in Bucksport. You know, I went in to get some camping supplies. And as I went in, there was Susan. She was on the checkout, checking things out. I said, wow, how you doing? It's been a while. She said, yeah, how are you? She said, I have a daughter. And she went on and on and on and on, and you know she was probably a protective mom, and she was just so proud of her daughter. I said, I'm so happy for you. And she said, Vernon, are you still in scouting? I said, yeah, I'm a lifetime member. I'm still in scouting. She says, do you still have a troop in the area? No, I live down in Portland now. She said, oh, gee, I really was hoping that you'd be my daughter's Girl Scout leader. That's the moment. That was the moment that I knew what it was like to be angelic. That was the moment I knew what it was like to be someone's hero. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but March 12th, 1912, Girl Scouts was founded by Juliet Gordon-Low. And this whole last year, they've been celebrating the 100th birthday. This is my tribute to Girl Scouts and what it's done for me as an adult and my relationship with my daughter. Because, you know, I never thought that I was angelic. I never thought I was a hero. All I did was take an opportunity and just be there. So I'm sharing with you all now. If someone comes and asks you to be a Girl Scout or Boy Scout leader, if someone tells you, hey, we need a mentor for a gold project or silver project, or maybe just buy a box of cookies, you don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be an angel. Just be there. Thank you.